It's kind of late, and I needed to talk about a letter I received from, I thought, the Pawtucket Fire Department. When it was looked at, it actually says the Pawtucket Fire Department, Post Office Box, something. It's an address in Illinois. So I had some questions about the letter. It's all about privacy. It's about the privacy that the fire department in Pawtucket has with medical records. And to make a long story short, I actually called them because I wanted to know more about this letter. And I talked to somebody in Illinois, and they let me know that they're just the billing. So, the phone number that's on there, or the phone number associated, is just for billing. So billing couldn't tell me anything about this letter. So I was transferred to a supervisor. The supervisor's name is Michelle. So I was talking to Michelle about this letter that came to me from Illinois and from her company. And she was unsure of what I was talking about, which was concerning. So I explained to her that it looks like this letter or this policy type thing was created in 2020. And I was receiving it for the first time in 2026. So my question was, is this a new thing that they're sending out? Do they send it out to everybody? And what would be the purpose of a company in Illinois sending this letter? When it relates to policies and procedures at the Pawtucket Fire Department. So she asked me to take a picture of it and send it to her to see, what it's all about, what prompted this letter to go out. So I did that. And then I called the Pawtucket Fire Department just so that everybody knows. There were a few calls placed to the fire department today in case Mark DeSisto is paying attention. And they weren't answered. I left a message. I didn't get a call back. So I'm going to say it was later on in the afternoon. I tried one more time, and I believe it was Nicole Lucia that answered the phone. And she thinks that she has seen this letter before. She's unsure. She's the office manager. I did ask to speak with, I believe his name is David Marshall, who's on the letter. I had asked to speak with him, and she said he no longer works there, that he retired. My understanding is, she told me that, he had been gone for a few weeks. But it's my understanding that he hasn't actually been at work for probably close to a year. So I asked her who was handling this type of letter or questions about medical records with the EMS, and she said that they hired somebody, but it would be a few weeks. So as just a normal person asking questions. So if he's only been gone for a few weeks, but previously he was gone for an extended period of time, which I don't care, whatever, you do you. But if he was gone for an extended period of time, who was doing his job? That would be able to answer these questions. So I don't know what prompted this letter to come to me. It looks like it was a letter that was created in 2020. And they're just now sending it out after you use the rescue services. So I did have a rescue run in December. It was actually the day after Christmas. I was in pretty bad shape, and I don't remember a lot of the rescue run. I think it was because my oxygen was so low. I do remember being whisked in, and shortly after that, they called a respiratory code for me. And got me all hooked up to the machine and all that stuff. So anyway, but that's besides the point. The EMS people, the people that took me, they're heroes. And I've always said that. In my mind, our fire department are our heroes. The police department creates victims, and then EMS comes and cleans it up. But there was a few things concerning about the letter, I guess, that I needed clarified. And, because they all talk about, privacy and privacy and privacy and privacy. Nowhere in the letter did it say that Frank Milos from the law department can get medical records, EMS records. And I've read it. Well, not me personally, but it's been read to me a couple of times, and I'm a little concerned about a lot in it, a lot of the information. I'm trying to figure out why somebody in Illinois would be sending me this paper if they're the billing. So we're looking into that. Michelle over in Illinois is going to take a look at it. But the other part of that is Nicole Lucia thinks that she's seen this letter before. She thinks she has. I don't know what she does there, that she's not sure if she's ever seen this letter. Now, why would she see this letter if it's actually sent from the billing department? One of the lines, and I can't read it to you, but one of the lines states, you can complain without fear of retaliation. That actually needs to be written. That right there needs to be written, that you don't risk retaliation for making a complaint. Is that not odd? That they would have to put that? Why would anybody think that they would be retaliated against for placing a complaint? So that's odd. There's a few areas of this letter that need to be cleaned up a little bit. So after talking to Nicole, and I'm still waiting for the review board to review the letter that I received in Illinois. So I called the state, and it's the state of Rhode Island Department of Health. I believe her name is Megan. She's the chief. And I yet again asked her the same questions because, this seems to be, looking for that legitimate purpose of calling Frank Milos. So I asked her again, and she remembered. She's like, I remember this. Because she looked into it. So her answer was the same, that if she received a request for somebody's rescue report, if it's themselves or a family member, that falls into one slot. And then the second slot would be with a subpoena. That would be the only other time that they would release to anybody someone's medical records like that. And she said, even with a subpoena, we would actually have a problem with it, where we would have to really identify why they would need the rescue report. So, kudos to you, Megan, you remembered. But I just needed that clarification because I haven't made the announcement yet. But a motion for a speedy trial has been placed, and we will be in court for, I think it's March 30th. So, our legitimate purpose. That's interesting. So people have asked me when I'm able to fill out an APRA what I'm going to request. And I got the go-ahead that I can finally do this. So the first APRA that I placed last Friday, I'm going to do a part two. I think it's getting a little long.